Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel. And today we're going to look at Cable, Wisconsin for the AYA back in 1992. There's a Canadian brethren, Chuck Pantera on the left. He was on the Air Boss team. We were all parked out there in front of the Tillamook Lodge in Cable, Wisconsin. Quite the thing. Got to meet a lot of interesting people, a lot of people with opinions about the airplane, and got to meet Jim Beatty. So stay tuned for some more fun. So we would like to ask you please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notify to stay current with our content. Now back in 1992, this is Kenny Burke from Texas. He was regional director of the Texas area, and a nice fun guy, also an air traffic controller. So there you go, along with Stu Morris. They made for some fun times on the Air Boss team. But anyway, Kenny Burke was there with his wife and his daughter. And then here's Ken Blackman, and I wish I could, and Herb Tate. I can read the name tag on the other guy. So now I know who that picture is. Again, these are old, ancient AYAers, and there's another picture of Herb Tate. Cable, Wisconsin, 1992 was my first AYA convention. I had gotten a star back at the early part of the year. John Maestri was calling for people to volunteer for the Air Boss team, and I picked up the phone, called him on the Audubon line, and put my name down. There's Glenn Hadley. Glenn Hadley was president of the AYA and a very interesting guy, an architect from Toronto. And then here's Jim Beatty, Rich Bickett, Glenn Hadley on the far left, and I don't know who there's on the right. But anyway, Jim Beatty there, he gave a couple of talks. Very interesting speaker. We have on the channel, we have a video of his zipper story that he gave back in the day, and it's always a good, fun watch for that because it was a fun story. And Jim had just quite the way of being able to chat and just really keep you enthused and get you interested in whatever he was talking about, because after all, he was a consummate salesman. Excuse me, another picture of Glenn Hadley, and now we're getting ready to go into some of the seminars. We had seminars for just about every little thing. Navigation systems, ask the experts. You'll see Ken Blackman, Dave Fletcher up there along with others. David Fletcher also had two of his Fletcher girls there. We had Glenda Miller, Schemer, and I forget who the other girl's name was. But anyway, they were there and they were hawking their parts. Now there's the flight line alongside the runway in Cable, Wisconsin. At the very end was the fuel farm at the end, run by Miss Libby, and she took very good care of us. She had a cake and punch party one day. I think we had ice cream another day. She put out a bunch of freebies on trees hanging with a note that said, "Please take anything you want." Very nice place, and she'll remember me because I paid for my fuel the entire time I was there with $2 bills, which she absolutely loves. And then here's a tiger doing its little thing as part of the reindeer games. And then here's one of the socials I was talking about that Miss Libby threw. She was the manager of the airport and the fuel system. And again, we all had a great time with our little tent there. This is what it looked like when it wasn't filled with people, but you can see the rack standing there with bandanas and scarves and a whole bunch of other things for the ladies and for guys. And then there we are there pointing back to the lodge, getting there, watching everybody having a drink, just enjoying it was gorgeous Wisconsin summer weather. And Bob Arnold, no longer with us, but looking a lot younger there 30 years ago. Again, he flew there with his wife and their tiger. And then here is Chuck Pantera, regional director of the Great Lakes, and he's wearing a yellow Air Boss shirt. There were 6 of us on the Air Boss team that year, Don and Shelley Lockhart. And then we had a lot of formation flying going on, and here's the two-seaters going by in tight formation, just showing people what all that we had learned that week while we were there practicing it. I mean, I did my first formation flying at Cable in 92. I logged 17 hours of formation work, not to mention all the other flying. And for the insurance side, Norris and Vivian Hibbler from Vancouver, and there they were in 92. Rich Bickett there on the right, regional director from out west. He helped us manage the money of the AYA for a number of years and put it away in CDs and stuff, be generating income instead of just sitting in an account. And then here's another seminar going on. Again, we had a really good time by all at that convention. There was hiking up on the golf courses, up in the hills on the ski lifts and all kinds of stuff you could do, because in the summer you can't ski, but you can take a mountain bike up and come running down the mountain. Now here's another seminar going on, and we had two big seminar rooms and we had the big banquet room, and there you go. And then here is the Cougar. Ken Jan and Grant Blackman flew in. Grant was just a baby in 92 when I first met him. But anyway, there's the Cougar all the way from Snohomish. And here's somebody with the dreaded broken tow bar trying to get it through the line. And you'll notice that in cable, we were doing it on the dirt. We didn't have hard surface. So a little difficulty factor to it all there. And then another seminar. As you look on the back right there, you'll see Bob and Irene Arnold. And then there is Jim Beatty talking with somebody about our airplanes, and a Grumman tiger in the background. And obviously a Grumman tiger cheetah right there in the foreground. And then again, here's another picture of the little setup area that Miss Libby put for us right at the head of the parking area, right when you're coming down the lodge. And it was kind of nice. Here's our seminar. There's David Fletcher, John Maestri right there. Was at our room. You could walk out onto the balcony and you could see the entire flight line. And then here's Ken Blackman from Air Mods Northwest doing one of his talks, talking about his maintenance issues, the parts he has, and other things that he had going on at the time. And then a bunch of folks just sitting around having a good time, doing some talk. You notice the pop, and we've got a microphone laying there because we're taking a break, obviously. And then Don and Shelley Lockhart were kind of famous because they had a brand new AGAC Tiger. They had traded in their Cheetah, and they came around with this big beautiful thing, and it really oohed and awed everybody. And then Don McNamara, there is the Fangmobile, call sign Fang for him, got his call sign that year. And again, here we are back in the seminars again, wearing that tiger stylized shirt that you saw a lot of at Oshkosh that year. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great time. Jim Beatty was nice to listen to. He had a lot of fun ideas. He talked about a wide variety of subjects, both publicly and walking the flight line and pointing out airplanes and stuff. Now, looking from out up above at the telemark, here's the flight line and the area that you could see from up at the hotel area. And then here's one of the people participating in the reindeer games, and off they go. Now, there'll be another picture of them. I think they're going to be a little closer in. But anyway, we had this particular tiger, November 1366 Romeo. It was there in blue and white regalia and parked in the grass with everybody else. And then here's a trophy winner. I forget what his t-shirt says, but the Redskins, obviously Super Bowl champs. And then Glenn Hadley wearing the blue Cable AYA shirt. The other color was yellow for the Air Boss team. It was a nice bright yellow, but it has faded over the years with all the washings and wearings. And Billy Crumpton, may he rest in peace, has gone west. But there was Billy Crumpton doing his thing at Cable on the microphone. A all-around good guy, air traffic controller and weather briefer. Stu Wilson of the AYA Secretary-Treasurer League. And Gene Plazek's Tail Dragger. And there you can see the flight line, the little walk up to the hotel. And we spent a lot of time around that pavilion when we weren't flying. And again, Glenn Hadley making one of his announcements in one of the meetings, and again wearing the AYA shirt. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you found all these pictures and the commentary on Cable Wisconsin useful and informative. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day flying. You're Grumman.